So far on Alien Earth, Noah Hawley has done a fantastic job of taking a half-century-old franchise in a new direction, rather than trying to be too different and thus not giving fans what they want. Alien Earth is still loyal to its world, with plenty of terrifying xenomorphs, but the surroundings make up a story unlike one we've ever seen. At the center of that is Wendy, a human girl who has had her consciousness implanted in a synthetic adult body. In Alien Earth's third episode, Metamorphosis, Wendy's capabilities are revealed to be more than being able to run fast or kill an alien with her bare hands. As it turns out, she can hear them too, chittering away inside their eggs at a frequency no one else can detect. In the fourth episode, Observation, you can be sure that trillionaire Boy Kavalier is going to exploit this when he finds out about it, and nothing good will come from Wendy's new power. Morrow wants Slightly to bring him a xenomorph egg in Alien Earth Episode 4. The episode begins with Wendy, her hearing turned offline, being examined by Dame Sylvia and Kirsch, who are talking about the screeching she has been hearing from the xenomorphs. Boy Kavalier comes in and sends Kirsch and Dame away, and is about to turn Wendy's hearing on when Joe walks in to visit his sister. "You'll never guess what we did with your old lung," Kavalier says to the human who took a xenomorph tail through the back not too long ago. Arthur brings Wendy's hearing back online and asks her what happened. Arthur wants to turn off that ability, but Kirsch wants to keep it on. Wendy does too. If the aliens are talking to her, she wants to hear them. Arthur begins a hearing test, and Wendy picks up the sound again. No one else can hear its frequency, including Curly. Kavalier is excited now, wanting Wendy to recreate what she's listening to. She mimics it perfectly, with the others looking on terrified but Kavalier in awe. Kavalier's assistant, Adam Ines, permits Joe to stay, but with one big catch: he now works for them. Wanting to be with his sister, he agrees. Wendy shows her brother her very childlike room, complete with stuffed animals. She wonders if Joe is mad at her, but he's not. His anger lies with those who created the new her for not letting him visit her past form when she was dying. He's here now though, and that's what matters, so like when they were little kids, they watch Ice Age together. Meanwhile, Morrow continues to tap into Slightly's network and talk to him. He wants the hybrid to bring him an alien egg, and hey, it's not stealing if it was already Utanes to begin with. Manipulating him, Morrow even gets Slightly to give him his real name, which he's not supposed to tell anyone. It's Arush Singh, and he's gonna wish he never said it.
Boy Kavalier wants Wendy to talk to the xenomorphs in Alien Earth Episode 4.
In a highly uncomfortable scene, Kirsch and his workers oversee a test where a sheep is placed in a glass chamber. The little alien octopus with a head like an eyeball is then released. It immediately kills the sheep, rips out its eye, and plants itself in the socket, now having taken over the body. This creature is highly intelligent, Kirsch says as it watches them. Kavalier draws its attention to himself, and they hold each other's gaze. The alien knows this is the human to pay attention to. Arthur takes Dame Sylvia away from the lab to have a private conversation. He's very concerned about how Wendy is now being used, but Dame thinks they can do more than one thing. She sees Boy Kavalier as a risk-taker, but to Arthur, that's not science. Her husband wants her to think about what will happen if everything goes to hell. They're interrupted by the confused Nibs, who tells them she's pregnant even though she's a machine, and that's impossible. Seeing that she's having a mental break, Dame takes Nibs away to talk, realizing that not enough time was spent talking to the hybrids about their new, bigger bodies. Dame wants to show Nibs a chart, but the hybrid reacts violently, yelling and knocking the chart away. She's certain she has a baby girl inside her. Dame wants to talk about what happened at the tower site, and although we see flashes of Nibs fighting the eyeball alien, she doesn't want to talk about it. When Dame says the creatures can't get to her, Nibs snaps, pushing Dame, who is now terrified. The hybrids aren't doing so well in their new bodies, but Nibs is handling it the worst of all. As Dame pushes the button for a silent alarm, Nibs begins to talk about her baby again, like nothing happened. Security shows up and takes Nibs back to her room. Dame tells them to secure her door and put out an alert for a level 3 event. What does that mean? Adam Ines calls in Joe to talk about his future. He wants to know that Marcy's transition to Wendy was a success. Refusing to talk, Joe says he quits, so the assistant tells him he'll no longer be able to talk to Wendy. Also, he'll now need to pay for that new lung they gave him. With that put out there, Joe changes his mind. "I'm your man," he says reluctantly. Ines also tells him that Wendy will never be able to leave the island and go home because she's no longer a human being. Wendy shows up for what's supposed to be a meeting with Dame Sylvia, but only Boy Kavalier is there. He compares her fighting the Xenomorph to the crocodile fight in Peter Pan. Wendy says the facehugger shouldn't have been cut open. She doesn't know what the others were saying, but they couldn't have liked it. Meanwhile, Kavalier wants to know if Jo should be allowed to stay. Wendy wants her to, but the boy genius isn't sure. What makes her so special? He's manipulating her now, and bluntly tells Wendy that if she helps him figure out what the aliens are saying, then Jo can remain with her.
Wendy meets a baby Xenomorph in Alien Earth, Episode 4.
Meanwhile, Kirsch and Toodles are watching the alien-controlled sheep. Now that he's a scientist, Toodles decides he wants to change his name to Isaac, after Isaac Newton. Kirsch has no problem with that. The now rechristened Isaac sees slightly in the hallway, but the latter is looking rather nervous, as he's there to snatch a Xenomorph egg. With Isaac standing in his way, he decides to come back later. Having figured out that Slightly is talking to Morrow, Kirsch taps in and listens to their conversation. The scared hybrid tells the man that he can't get into the lab, but that won't work for Morrow. Now sitting with Slightly's terrified mother, who thought her son was dead. With his family being threatened, Slightly agrees to help. Morrow has changed his plan though. Instead of getting him an egg, Morrow wants Slightly to bring a human to one of the eggs. He explains the whole facehugger process and tells Slightly to bring the human to him after it falls off. They'll have a bad couple of days, but I'll make sure they're comfortable. Morrow gives Slightly 24 hours to choose someone, but who will it be? Later, the Lost Boys and Jo are together outside, where the latter is telling the hybrids all about the 5 corporations that rule everything and how Yutani wants those specimens back from the crashed ship. Slightly walks in, upset that Jo is allowed to be there. Jo understands. He thinks all of their families should be there. It's confusing for them. Should they demand to see their families or accept who they are now and what they have? As Wendy leaves to visit the boy genius in the lab, Slightly stares Jo down. Later at night, he watches him from outside his window as well. No, no, no. In the lab, Wendy looks at Jo's lung and chitters to what's inside, while Kirsch watches her from afar. Suddenly, the lung pulsates and a Xenomorph explodes from within, shattering the glass. The baby stares Wendy down, but instead of attacking, it's drawn to the mimicking sounds she makes. It even allows Wendy to touch it. The hybrid is fascinated, but Kirsch doesn't look so pleased. He seems to know more than anyone how bad things are about to get.